Hi there! Today I'm going to show you what happens when heat is applied to an object, such as a tea candle or an ice cube. 1 minute while I step into the laboratory. The first part of this exercise calls for us to use the tea light, which was provided for us in our lab kit. Here we have the tea candle, and it says to place it on a flat surface. This will do. And observe the color of the candle. So as I'm looking at the candle right now, I see that it's white. It's a waxy white, because I know it's a candle, and so it's not pure white, but it's more of an opaque kind of cloudy white, I would say. But for sake of simplicity, I'm going to record the tea candle as being white. Alright, it says light the tea candle with a match. And then I'm going to observe for about a minute what happens and record any color changes or additional observations. So here are my matches, and I'm going to make sure that's still away from anything that's flammable. Light my match and light the wick of the tea candle. I'm going to make sure that my matches are disposed of. While the candle is burning, it says give it about a minute. It's kind of like watching paint dry on a wall. But what I see happening is the candle itself is melting, producing more of a liquid wax. The color of the wax is lighter in color, maybe a little bit more clear than that solid white. And it seems to start from the middle of the wick and spread outwards. It's creating like a little pool around the wick of the candle. That seems about right. So I'm going to extinguish the candle and record my findings for my lab report. Blowing it out, there it goes. What I observed is that the tea candle, when heat was applied to it, quickly started to produce a waxy liquid, which is what we would expect when heat is applied to a candle. It started near the wick as a small pool. The color was still kind of that white, but it was a little bit more of a clear white, kind of the liquid version of something melted down that was white. And so kind of a cloudy liquid. But not completely clear because the source it came from was a white solid. But it's wax, so it's a melted version of the white, which is a little bit more clear. So I'm going to say clear. So that's what happens when you apply heat in the form of a match to a tea candle. The second part of the activity calls for the use of an ice cube and our metal aluminum tray. So here's this small ice cube that I have. And here's the aluminum weigh dish. You can see my ice cube's about the size of a dime. I'm going to set it aside and record any observations I have. I'll put my matches away. Right now I observe the ice to be kind of the same color as the tea candle. It's kind of a white. Obviously it's frozen water, so water is a clear substance, so it's produced kind of a opaque color. You know, it's not completely clear, but it's not a solid white. But for the sake and simplicity of the experiment, I'm going to say that the ice cube is white. Now it asks us to relight the candle, so I'm going to get out my matches again. Need one match and relight my tea candle. Since it's been used, the tea candle's wick is now black. Started out with a white wick. That's probably something I'll put in my observations as well. Now it says to use the aluminum dish, which is right here, and place it over the flame and record any observations. So quickly what I'm seeing is that a liquid is being produced as a result of the flame, the heat, being applied to the solid piece of ice. Very quickly, this water is starting to fill up my dish, and the piece of ice cube is very rapidly decreasing in size and becoming more and more of the liquid substance, which is water. So what my final observation is the ice cube in its original form was a solid. When heat was applied to it through the use of the candle, it quickly became a liquid. Now I'm going to blow out the candle. I'm going to record my observations. So the substance went from being white to clear. It went from being a solid to a liquid. And what I observed in both of these exercises in activity 4 is that these are examples of physical change. Physical change happens when nothing is added to or taken away from the composition of the compound itself. So in the tea candle, we saw that nothing was taken away or changed to make it a different kind of composition, but heat was applied to it and it changed its physical composition from that of solid to a more liquid wax type. Same was true with the ice. Nothing was added to or taken away from the H2O in the form of a solid piece of ice, but when heat was applied to it, we see that ice melting, becoming more in a liquid form. This is also an example of a physical change. So part 4 of this lab assignment was really for us to learn about physical changes. Thanks so much.